about these interviews is you sat there and what you want to say is completely different to what you do say. You try and toe the line and you try and not land anybody in it. But I reckon they should just go for it. You know what? If you play bad and someone's had a shocker, out them. You know, just talk about it.
Now, in our jobs, you know, being pundits, and I'm sitting there sometimes, and you have to be diplomatic. You have to think, you know, these are your colleagues. But some of the questions I've been hearing recently, you know, I've got to feel sorry for managers. You know, there was one at the weekend. I think Eddie Howe, the Bournemouth manager, asked it. He made a substitution. He brought on Jordan Ibe, and the question he got asked was, I think, Jordan Ibe's come on, created 2 goals. How do you impact on the game? Well, what's the manager supposed to do that? And I remember another one with Jose Mourinho. I think it was Conor McNamara, who's a fantastic, you know, commentator. And you know, when I've never been in the situation of a journalist straight after the game interviewing a manager. For me, I panic. I've interviewed a couple of people, and it's the worst thing. I start sweating. It's horrible because they
get sweat patches.
Yeah, not as bad as yours this morning, but it's a difficult thing, and I think it's a hard skill. Getting the tone right, and of course, I'd probably ask ridiculous questions, but straight after the game, I think it was Man United West Brom. Man United battered West Brom, but they didn't. It was one of those draws, 10 draws at home at Old Trafford. And I think Conor asked the question, you know, both teams cancelled each other out, but they didn't. So that reaction of the manager he is going to get a reaction. And I felt sorry for Jose, but then again, when I'm asked about Conor's question, I think, even though I probably would have asked it myself, I understand why, because he probably was in a situation where, do you know what I mean? So,
have you ever asked a shocking question?
Oh Lord, I can't remember that.
What about your top 20?
it's just.
Do you think we overestimate the post-match interview? Should we just drop it? Why do we have to have the post-match in that? Do you think it does add to the entertainment?
If you look at TV figures and numbers, after the game finishes, it drops off.
Does it?
So people aren't that fussed.
And every now and again, you do get quite an interesting insight, don't you, into what somebody's thinking or feeling. I remember. Oh, I've asked bad questions. I'll tell you, the really difficult one as a journalist is when you're interviewing a very high-profile sports person who's already done 2 interviews before he's seeing you or she's seeing you, and then you've got to try and make it fresh. You've got to try and make sure that you build some kind of a rapport. They don't want to be with you. They're a bit resentful about the time they're having to give. That's tough. But most of the time, I find sports people typically they understand you're just doing your job. You know, I've interviewed Ronaldo and Federer, most of the Phelps and most Michael Johnson, most of the top athletes, you know, Bobby Seven. And it's but one time I did fall out with the person I was interviewing.